Welcome to the Digital I Ching Library Companion playlist. This is Hexagram 15, Modesty, Humility. If you have questions on the application, language, or terms in this material, watch Introduction Part 1 and Part 2 of the series. This hexagram is unique in that it embodies one of the virtues of the Book of Changes, the virtue of humility. You're being prepared to refine yourself in order to have lasting success in your endeavors. This hexagram embodies one of the virtues of the I Ching, the virtue of humility. To embody the virtue of humility or modesty in the Book of Changes means understanding that true strength isn't boastful or aggressive. It's unassuming and subtle. As a cosmic law, when one is humble, the universe fills up what is modest and empties what is overflowing. What is high looks and seeks out what is low. This is not about self-deprecation, but a willingness to be hidden in plain sight and having a respect for their place in the world. By being receptive and unassuming, you attract the right attention from individuals who are weary and tired of those who are loud and boastful. By emptying oneself of ego, one makes space to receive new insights, assistance, and opportunity. The paradox of modesty is that one truly does stand out and will earn genuine respect. This is a season of consistent diligence, where the work is done for the sake of the work and not for the applause. The judgment of Hexagram 15 states, modesty creates success. The superior one carries things through. The universal law of modesty ensures longevity. It's the principle that ensures that processes reach completion without faltering or exhaustion. The arrogant seeker cares for the acclaim and the praise at the end of the road, while the modest seeker seeks the task through to the very end by focusing solely on the work itself. The universe and the oracle by proxy will train you in the art of consistency by instructing you on how to stay low-key and conserving your energy for only the things that actually count for something in life. You will achieve great success and be rewarded for your patience and diligence. Allow competence to speak louder than self-promotion ever could. The image of Hexagram 15 states, within the earth, a mountain, the image of modesty. Thus, the superior one reduces that which is too much and augments that which is too little. They weigh things and they make them equal. The seeker is being called upon to make a concerted effort to look over themselves and their circumstances in order to find a greater level of balance. Look at where you're overextending yourself. Where are you strained, exhausted, or overworking? By reducing what is overloaded, you now have more strength to give in other areas where you're lacking. Inspect where you're deficient, where you could be giving more, or where there is need for improvement, diverting energy from overextension into areas that desperately need your attention benefits you at this time. A changing line 1. A superior being, modest about their modesty, may cross the great water. Good fortune. When setting out on a particularly meaningful and important initiative, being quiet and unassuming here brings the greatest success at this point. That is what is meant by being modest about one's modesty. Without using your modesty like a badge of honor, you can undertake major tasks because you aren't carrying the dead weight of flashy public personas that attract too much attention. This line is instructing the seeker or the sage that if they have plans, to put those plans into action quickly and quietly. That is your secret weapon here in your circumstance. You can move without drawing any criticism, early doubters, or saboteurs who would drain you before you ever get started. Do not broadcast your plan and actions at this point in time. Let the finished product of what you're working on be the only indicator to those around you. Stay under the radar to avoid the pointless pressure of public expectation. A changing line 2. Modesty that comes to expression. Perseverance brings good fortune. Your works and your deeds are going to begin attracting the correct attention that you need in order to gain momentum on your endeavor. People often worry that being quiet will make you perpetually invisible. Authenticity is a beacon of light in a world of never-ending self-promotion. By letting the work that you're doing speak for your character, you gather support from those who value your commitment to the long term. Focus entirely on the excellence of your output and the kindness of your interactions. Being easy to work with will take you very far. A changing line 2. A superior being of modesty and merit carries things to conclusion. Good fortune. The seeker or sage is achieving tangible results on their endeavor because they continue to strive rather than pat themselves on the back or brag between breaths. They don't just start great endeavors. They are the one who stays until the last detail is carried to the conclusion. By focusing solely on your work ethic, you avoid the ego trap of envy that typically targets successful people. Stay grounded and realistic if people begin to put you on a pedestal. If you don't stay humble, you'll invite instability to your endeavor. Your only goal should be to complete the task, endeavor, or mission to the very end. A changing line 4. Nothing that would further modesty in movement. This line recommends using modesty appropriately in order to reach your goals. This is about adapting your modesty as you rise in prominence. Use your momentum appropriately to focus on nothing but the task, without envying the work of others or using your power abrasively to draw opposition from those that would become jealous of you. Be careful at this time of people who don't share the same ethic as you do. Those that don't value modesty will attempt to take advantage by interpreting your quietness for your weakness. Being modest in this instance isn't about playing small, it's about being precise. Don't over-explain or oversell yourself. Careful social navigation is important regarding this line. Audit your immediate circle and keep a lookout for those who would treat you like a doormat because they lack initiative or they like to coast on your own hard work. A changing line 5. No boasting of wealth before one's neighbor. It is favorable to attack with force, nothing that would further. Because you don't boast of your wealth, your position, or your authority, etc., you're able to operate objectively when the situation calls for immediate action to correct injustices. If this is a situation that needs immediate correction, absolutely do not hesitate. The Oracle is giving the green light to take initiative or action. The action here is about correction and not being a bully. This force is authorized only because it is for the common good and for maintaining order and peace in a situation. No matter what the situation is, action must be taken in order to set something right again. In a spiritually nuanced reading, the Oracle is allowing the use of spiritual force in order to counteract a malignant or malicious entity or practitioner acting against an innocent. This is about stopping, neutralizing, repelling, blocking, or banishing, and to go no further when they finally retreat. A changing line 6. Modesty that comes to expression. It is favorable to set armies marching to chastise one's own city and one's country. This line is advising to look within to see where you can improve and make corrections within yourself. This is about using one's full inventory of resources to set armies marching in order to root out personal faults, injustices, corruption, laziness, or discord either within themselves or within the realm of what is under their watch care. This could be your workplace, your team, your family, your business, etc. That is what is meant by chastising one's own city and country. The goal of this line is about purification, self-correction, and self-improvement. By being strict about your own ethics and standards, you prevent the weeds of temptation and ego from growing and overtaking your own enterprise and ruining your own hard work. This is the line of radical ownership and extreme responsibility. Look over what is under your influence and determine where and how the cracks of instability have formed and fix them immediately. If you have general questions, would like to contribute, need additional help in interpreting material, or have a request on what you'd like to learn next, email oracleodysseyinquiry@gmail.com. See you later.